Hey guys, welcome back to the Chilluminati podcast. I'm Silver, and today, on this very special episode, me, Peter, and Tootie are going to be discussing our top 10 figures of 2023. You guys want to say hi real quick before we get into this?
Yeah, I'm Reviews 2D.
I'm Peter, the Taco Boy.
It's going to be a great night. All right, so let's just get straight into it, right? It's
Yeah,
2023 was
but
a great year for toys, I think.
yeah, it's pretty good.
Got some goods,
It's
got some bad.
interesting, a very fulfilling year. We got a lot of good character selection lined up, and it's going to be a good show.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and before we get into the top 10, well, we do have some honorable mentions here.
Mhm.
My personal one is the Jada Toys Mega Man. Pretty small figure, but poses very nicely. Comes with a reasonable amount of accessories with a price point. The only reason it's not on the top 10 is because I technically got it in 2024. If I got it in 2023, it definitely would have been in the top 10 for
Damn.
sure.
Damn, so close yet so far, huh, Jada?
Yeah.
Missed the mark, dude.
Missed it by not even that long, right? It was like a few weeks, or when'd you get it?
It was like the week. I think it was within the first week of January. But do y'all have any honorable mentions?
Yeah, I'll mention two. So one of which is the NECA Toys TV show Chucky from their Child's Play line. I didn't expect much from it, but it's just like really nicely packed articulation. It's fun. It's nice. I think the reason it didn't make it is just because I don't really have too much of a connection to the Child's Play franchise. But it's a great figure, and if you get it, you'll have a blast. Also, another one, and my last honorable mention will be the Transformers Buzzworthy Bumblebee 2-pack Prowl from the '86 line.
Yeah, Kobeni Prowl.
Yes, Kobeni Prowl. I love him. He's just a little anxious Kobeni Prowl. I mean, like, how could you not love him? Also, he improves on the Datsun brother mold like tremendously. The tolerances are so much better. So like, as a meme, as a legit Transformer, I think this Prowl is like great. And I mean, it was like on clearance. Like, what is there not to love?
Yeah,
The only thing is,
that 2-pack went on clearance in a lot of places.
mm-hmm,
Well, Target
yeah.
really, because it's Target exclusive.
But the big thing that stopped Kobeni Prowl is at the end of the day it is the Datsun Brothers mold, so it's not like the best mold, but hey, I can work with it.
Yeah, and also, the one of the biggest improvements is the the like the feet and the legs. That area. It's a opaque plastic rather than the translucent plastic.
That just makes it
So
so much
more
more fun to
durable.
play with. Yeah, like, I'm
Yeah,
not scared of breaking this guy at all. What about you,
yeah.
Peter? You got any honorable mentions before we get into the top 10?
Uh, I have one.
Ooh.
Not going to be too long. I really like the X-Men, the '96, the retro carded line. I got the Wolverine figure from that line.
Oh, really?
Mm, Yeah, it's a very solid figure, great articulation, great sculpt. Hasbro killed it with this one. I know
Yeah,
these days, people
yeah,
like to hate on Hasbro, but they killed it with this Wolverine. I think
yeah,
it's great.
yeah, and even has like pinless joints as well.
You know it.
Yeah, but
That's
that
awesome.
is Peter.
That's gonna be it.
Yeah. All right. Okay, now on to the list. Number 10, I'm putting the Pokemon Selects Mewtwo by Jazzwares and Wicked Cool Toys. All right. So, first off, very good sculpt to this. The proportions are good. It looks great. And, the articulation is pretty nice on it as well. I mean, it is somewhat limited in a few areas. Like, the tail placement is a bit awkward, but, like, it's pretty reasonable in terms of engineering. And Oh yeah, and the scale is actually pretty good. Like this is a really good, like, in terms of like 1/12 scale, 6-inch scale, fits in with a lot of stuff. So, it's very versatile in what collection you could put it into, whether it's a Pokemon collection or, some other game collection. Going to work great for that. Only thing really holding it back is, as I said earlier, the articulation is a bit odd in some areas and, even somewhat limited. And, it doesn't really have any accessories. Like, it has a stand, but like every figure in this line has a stand. And, for Mewtwo, it doesn't really work out all that great because, it's kind of placed like a bit above the tail. So you can't really get the stand behind there. But other than that, great figure, must have for any Pokemon fan. And yeah, I think that's just about it.
My number 10 goes to the Hasbro Marvel Legends Spider-Man No Way Home Deluxe Green Goblin, the movie one.
Yeah.
This figure has really good sculpt. The glider is killer, dude. Really good sculpt on the glider as well. My only problem with it is just the Goblin does not have a calf swivel. It really, sometimes when I'm playing with it, it does kind of take away the fun factor of it. And also when you put on the Goblin head, William Dafoe's neck is exposed, so you got to put it at the right angle to, make it not look like shit. But otherwise, it is a very solid release from Hasbro. I know I mentioned 2 Hasbro figures, but who cares? This year they made some really good figures, and I gotta say, they got a good thing going on. Very cool figure, good articulation. Really good.
And the Hasbro train ain't ending with him. I'm putting my number 10 as the Model 1 Marvel Legends Iron Man, or his first appearance suit. It's big, it's chunky, but honestly, that's what's so appealing about it to me. It's so satisfying to get this guy into a menacing pose. Every time, especially like even with like a kind of limited neck, he's very expressive, Like those angles that he can get are great. And I mean, like everything about him just looks aesthetically kick-ass. And his accessories are nice with the smoke. I think overall, like Model One Iron Man, it's another Marvel Legends Iron Man, but it goes in a radically different direction. And I think for me, that's just like that's why it's number 10. It's kick-ass.
My number 9, it's gonna be Marvel Legends Extremis Iron Man from the Puff Adder wave. This Iron Man, the sculpt on it is pretty great on it, and the way they did the plastic, I know some people were like, it should be shinier or like, it could have used some panel lining, but like as it is now, like default out of the package, like it captures the light so well, like it looks so accurate to the source material. But that aside, it does have a bit of an issue, well, a pretty big issue with the torso. Uh, it is somewhat limited. Like you don't get too much of a crunch out of it, but it does swivel pretty well. But and there's nothing too crazy with the accessories. Just some extra hands and a couple blast effects that we've seen with other Iron Man figures before. But it is a very solid Iron Man, and like someone around my age, you've seen this suit so many times and so many things, like it's just like it's kind of a mental image of Iron Man, so it's great to have it done again in the Legends line.
Sweet.
And actually, let me ask something real quick. I think y'all have some more experience with like the movie Iron Mans. How does it compare to the Extremis?
Extremis suit, like aesthetically,
Yes.
it is the closest to the movies. And I
No,
think
I'm talking about more so the engineering with the torso.
I'd say honestly, Extremis has the edge over it. Like, at least in my opinion, from what I've seen, from what you've shown me and the reviews I've seen, I feel like the torso is better on Extremis than most of the movie figures.
Oh, okay. But I'm more so just talking about Iron Man.
Yeah. I'm talking like movie Iron Man. My bad.
All right. Just to be sure. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Also, it like
I don't have
pulls
enough
half of
Iron
them
Man to
out of the
justify.
wire or out of the water.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's definitely better than the old one. Better scale, such.
Yeah.
My number 9 goes to the NECA, The Last Ronin, Raphael.
All right.
Um, this figure is surprisingly, I got this pretty much at the end of 2023, and it surprised the heck out of me. Originally, there was something else, another figure in this spot, but man, playing with this figure really, just like it's like good God, NECA killed it. It's my first NECA figure in a while. I just think they killed it. There's no those other words. The accessories, everything that it comes with, dude. Like, I do say that the articulation is a bit limited, which is understandable, and also I feel like the plastic they used is a little too kind of stiff. You do kind of have to put it. I heard on my copy I didn't have this issue, but I do hear that if you get this figure, warm it up, because some of the joints are not moving. But that wasn't much of a big issue for me. But yeah, my number 9 goes to Raph. It's a solid figure. I highly recommend it.
Yeah, and silver. I'm assuming this is like a typical NECA stuff.
I mean, honestly, yeah, NECA. Dude, you'll see later in the list. NECA did kill it this year, and Last Ronin is an example of that. But yeah, it is a typical thing to warm up the figures beforehand. So my number 9 is a bit of a surprise. It's the correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's Origins, Buzzworthy Bumblebee Origins Jazz. I think that's what
Yeah,
it's called, right? Origins.
Buzzworthy Bumblebee Origins Jazz.
Yeah.
Yes.
Honestly, what a surprise! I'm one of the few people who looked at Buzzworthy Bumblebee, like the Origins Bumblebee, and I was like, cool concept. I love the idea, but it kind of looks rough. And then Jazz slapped me across the face and said, "Shut the hell up," because he aesthetically nails the look. Yeah, he's got a bit of a backpack, but like so clean. Like the figure itself is beautiful, and it does
Yeah.
like that classic Episode 1 alt mode. That weird sci-fi car. So cool. He comes with a grapple hook. I don't know if he used it in the episode, but who cares, He has a grapple hook, which is detachable. No string, though. Comes with a rifle. Head sculpt is immaculate. Like, modern Transformer head sculpts are just beautiful, especially since it doesn't have any light piping, because screw light piping. Uh,
Yeah.
hell yeah. One complaint on him, though. His chest is a little, sometimes it tends to pop off on my copy. And
Yeah.
so yeah, that's my number 9.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, the chest is not the most secure connection. Like if you're moving the shoulders, back and forth because it kind of has a bit of a butterfly joint, it does tend to pop off of it. And I actually do have this figure. I considered it for the top 10, didn't quite make it, but another thing about the figure is that like it just feels really nice. Like the plastic. It's just very nice to handle.
Yeah, for sure. It's
Yeah.
just, it's a fun little Jazz.
Yeah, it's a very nice Jazz figure. Number 8, I'm putting the Marvel Legends 97 Wolverine. The retro, on the retro card.
Hard.
Silver. I mean, no, not silver. Peter already talked a bit about it before, but this is a great Wolverine figure. This is pretty similar to the older Wolverines, but this one it has the pinless joints and most notably, like believe this is a brand new Logan head sculpt, and it's just such a great looking head sculpt. Some of the older Logan head sculpts, they don't really look quite right, but like they nailed it with this release. And it's just a very nice looking kind of classic Wolverine. So very solid release, although, not much special to it. It's a very good Wolverine figure, but not much new here in terms of the Legends line.
My number 8 goes to the SH Figuarts Monkey D. Luffy. the on Onigashima version. I hear a lot of QC issues with this guy, so I was a little hesitant about picking him up, but he looks so good. I love the design. I haven't been too caught up with One Piece, but you can't deny if a character has good design, you want to have like a representation of that. And I gotta say, this Luffy surprised me. I love it. The sculpt, the torso articulation is wild. It has the ab crunch is crazy. The posability is amazing. I do say the single jointed knee is kind of holding it back, and also it could include some hot like his arm coated in hockey, and stretchy arms. It is $50, so I feel like if they were to include that, yeah, it's it's no longer going to be 50.
Yeah, well, you mean 50 Canadian though?
Yes, 50 Canadian. Sorry, I forgot that the whole world uses different currencies. Thank you for the reminder. It's 50 Canadian, but I feel like if they were to include other accessories, stretchy arms, hockey coated arms, it would have bumped it up to over 100. So I'm pretty happy with it. I fucking love this thing, dude. It's awesome.
Yeah, I'm not really too into One Piece, so I can't really say too much, but it does look very nice. I know people have been somewhat disappointed in the One Piece line at the moment, but things are looking up, and this Luffy does show the potential of the line.
Of course.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's one of the stronger releases, I'd say.
Yamato recently came out. I haven't got her yet, but she's gonna be killer. I mean, sorry, because we're not going to get into that. It's a little complicated.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. My number 8 spot goes to the Marvel Legends Across the Spider-Verse. Spider-Punk. I mean, like, it's Spider-Punk, It's Hobie Brown. He's a kick-ass character.
Yeah. Yeah, and you even loved, you even loved him before Across the Spider-Verse.
Yes, I am. I'm gonna be one of those toxic gatekeepers. I was the Hobie Brown fan before the movie. I kid. But yeah, I love his character, and I love that they added him to the movie. And I love his design in the movie. It's so bombastic. It's so colorful. I love the black jean vest. As someone who wears those unironically, it's fun to see that. His guitar's covered in stickers and stuff. It's great aesthetically, and the figure captures that really well. In my excitement for the movie and character, I bought like a really I think it was like 5 POA, maybe like 7 POA because it might have had elbows. But
yeah, like the cheaper Hasbro line.
Yeah, it's from the cheaper Hasbro line, but like this just blows that out of the water, obviously. He's thin. He's really thin. So if you do get him, careful with the joints. The one complaint I do have is like, come on, Hasbro, where are these accessories, right? He has like the guitar playing, holding the pick, and then holding this the guitar, and then he has one thwipper. It would have been great if he at least came with a second thwipper to do like, some more Spider-Man-y stuff. But you know what? Oh, and obviously, like, dude, a Hobie Brown head would go insane. There are some cool customs out there, but I wish Hasbro, you know what? Add it in. Come on, Hasbro. Please. Yeah. Hobie Brown. Fun figure.
Dwight, we're talking to you, man.
Please, Dwight. But yeah, that's number 8. Spider-Punk.
My number 7 gonna be the Transformers Legacy Bludgeon. Now, this is the character I wanted in my collection for a bit. Like, come on, everybody has a bit of a interest in this, this orange Pretender Samurai. But like, making it from the Tarn mold, which I don't have the original, but like this one, like, wow, I could really see, why people love that Tarn mold. Like, it looks great. And like, even the new head sculpt on here, it looks sick. With that with that samurai mask going on. Well, helmet really, but and the articulation is pretty good. The only thing is that like I have with the figure, because I know some people take issue with like the accuracy, because like it, the IDW 1.0 bludgeon, it is like, it kind of does have a bit of a similar body to Tarn, but the torso and some of the other parts are new. But like, my issue with the figure is the trigger happy shoulders, which I normally don't mind, but for a sword wielding character, it does make some of the poses a bit more difficult to do. But other than that, yeah, it's a pretty sick figure, man. Oh, and okay, the other issue I have is like the transformation is kind of annoying. And, although I do like the alt mode, you know, I don't really transform it much solely because like, it's just not that enjoyable of an experience.
Honestly, I have to agree with you on like all of your points. You're actually the reason I bought the fig. When I was like looking at the reveal, I was like, I have Tarn. I'm happy. I don't really care. But then you showed it to me, and I was like, damn, this is awesome. What a repaint and a new head sculpt, a new accessory can do to a figure, right? It just rejuvenates it. And yeah, this from my experience as well, I gotta admit, like that is a kick-ass transformer. Um, yeah, I will say you're right. Those shoulders are a bit annoying for someone who's supposed to be like, sword wielding badass. Except, oh man, my shoulders are in the way. My bad. It's pretty kick-ass.
So my number 7 is the SH Figure Arts Kid Naruto. Um, this figure is pretty much, all the problems that I had with the Luffy figure. This figure done it better. It has a buttload of accessories, Rasengan, a lot of facial expressions, and it's $50, 50 Canadian. Sorry, I need to remind
Yeah.
myself that.
Yeah, and, for anybody curious, it would be around 35 US, both Luffy and Naruto.
What a steal. For
What a
both.
steal. For Naruto, I prefer the Kid Naruto over the teenage Naruto. I think the engineering is a lot better. It is pure hand candy. It's so fun to pose. There's so many different, variations, different poses you can get into. And I love this thing so much. However, there's one, mine came with a QC issue. The left arm likes the bicep likes to pop off. So that's kind of annoying sometimes, but I mean, what are you gonna do? It's a very fun figure. I love it. So that's gonna be my number 7.
Noticing a bit of a SHF SHF trend here, Peter. Hope that doesn't infect me later. Number 7 for me is the Marvel Legends. Oh, another Marvel Legend. What the hell? Marvel Legends No Way Home.
You good, bro?
Okay.
No Way Home. Green Goblin. That's right, Peter. I'm copying you. I'm stealing you.
What? Nah.
And a lot of my points are gonna be, like similar to yours, so I'm not gonna bore you guys. I'm just gonna say some extra stuff. I love his like weird design. It's it's the original, but it's like chunkier. It's got some crap on it. It's got that like ripped up hoodie. It's got like all these like little extra doodads. I love like the Predator like claw arm blade thing. I usually keep them with the mask on just because like I love that mask. To me that mask is iconic. And yeah, like Peter said,
yeah, and the other issue is that Willem Dafoe, like he's scarier without the mask on. Like
that is true. Yeah.
Like you don't want to wake up in the middle of the light and see him like staring you down or anything.
I think if I saw both, either the mask or Dafoe, I would not. I would just immediately give up. Just like you win, kill me.
Finish it. I'm something of a boogeyman. I'm something of a boogeyman myself.
But yeah, this figure, like Peter said with Kid Naruto, is just it's hand candy. I'll find myself posing this guy around, just quoting him. It's like, finish it. You make a choice. Like it's so nostalgic. It's fun. It's flawed, yeah, but what can you do? So yeah, No Way Home. Green.
The formula.
My number 6 gonna be the Nendoroid 30th anniversary Kirby. Now, this Kirby, I don't have any of the other ones, but from what I've seen, it has like the same engineering. So, as the older releases for the Kirby's, but this one has like different accessories and different faces than some of the other ones. Well, I think everything's unique to it. I'm not 100% sure on that, but from what I've seen, it seems to be the case. But so, faces, very good. Very nice that you could represent multiple eras of the character. And, also have some fun, expressive ones as well. The accessories, pretty nice as well. There's the various items from the game, and even has a unique stand to it. Like the arm is pretty much your standard, Nendroid, fare, but the base, it's in the shape of the Warp Star and such. It has the 30th anniversary, so very nice release. Really, not much you could do better.
Isn't
So,
that like, dude, that has to be like the definitive Kirby figure, right? Like, there's nothing that could really top it.
well, actually, I suppose you could say it could come with more accessories, but I mean, yeah, because with Kirby, there's
Got
these
all those little
various items
hats.
and such. Yeah, so so it could come with more items, hypothetically, but what it does come with, is very nice. So, yeah, it's my number 6 spot.
My number 6 spot goes to the Boss Fight Studios Popeye the Sailor Man, the spinach eating crazy cartoon character. I don't know, man. Like, I didn't expect this one to make it this high. I mean, come on, it's a cartoon character, you know. But Popeye, it made such a huge impact when I was a kid. So, there's no way I'm, not going to get a figure that represents him. But surprisingly, this figure is very, very fun. Yeah, it's again, it's not another hand candy for me. I love playing with it, and my kind of only sort of a complaint is like it comes with like a sort of like it comes with a spinach can, but it doesn't come with like an open spinach can with all the the spinach in it.
Oh,
And also an open mouth facial expression will be nice because he does eat spinach. But that's as far as complaints goes, that's really it for me. But this figure is really nice. I love it.
Honestly, Peter, like when you sent that
Mhm.
picture of your top 10, I was like that Popeye immediately caught my eye. What a like cool sculpted figure.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's beautiful.
Yeah, and I
it's
don't
really
think,
good.
and I don't really see anybody talking about it either. So, yeah,
Yeah.
Great
Well,
pick.
yeah,
Boss Fight is kind of like I would say not as big as Hasbro. Bandai. They're pumping out a lot of cool stuff next year and the year after. If something catches our eye, we'll definitely grab it. Their figures are not too expensive, and I think they are made for fans. So
Hmm.
I'm not saying it just because I have friends working at over there, but I'm actually saying it as a proud, I guess, customer to own their figures. So definitely keep your eyes out for more Boss Fight Studio figures. I think they're gonna kill it this year.
All right, my number 6.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, I swear me and Tootie did not coordinate this, but I did put an Android in number 6. But it was completely coincidental, okay? And my number 6
How
goes
could you?
to Sadako Yamamura from The Ring. The Onryo, the girl who walks to the TV. She's got her hair draped over her face. You know her. She's like a classic icon of horror, especially Japanese horror. Did a huge impact on the industry and influences a lot of Western horror nowadays. But let's talk about the figure, right? This figure, it's an Android, so it's not gonna have like, awesome like, Sentinel level articulation or Yamaguchi articulation. But what it does do is it allows, it's got the little interchangeable arms and legs and stuff that just lets you have fun with it. It's a weird mix because like in one pose, yeah, she looks creepy as shit, but then in another, especially with her relaxed face, which you'll see up here, is so cute, especially if she has her little VHS. She's like, watch the movie, let me kill you in 7 days. Like, it's adorable in the creepiest way possible. I love her little well. I love that her hair can be, split to represent her condemned stare. And if you're a fan of DBD, I am a huge fan of DBD. Part of the reason why I got this figure is because, she's in DVD, guys, and it's cool to have representation from not just a good horror movie, but a good character in a fun game.
For my number 5, at the Transformers Legacy Windblade. So, okay, a bit of a preference here. So, bit my history with Windblade, figures. I own before this, I only had the Thrilling 30 Windblade, which I later sold because yeah, that figure is ass. Like, the sculpt on it is pretty good, but like it had some of the worst like foot heel design I've seen on like a transformer. Like it was so obnoxious to stand. Like you it was so hard to pose because like you couldn't have it planted on the ground. It was just not a very fun figure to handle in general. So, I was waiting for a new legacy, War for Cybertron legacy engineered Windblade because I was interested in the Times Return version, but that one, was pretty expensive before this new one came out. So when this new one came out, I instantly got it. Just waited for it to come out, and it does not disappoint. Like this is definitely, I'm sure this is the best Generations Windblade that has come out so far. So it is based off of Cyberverse, so it does have like a lot of blue highlights on it, but other than that, Windblade's had a very consistent design and like the articulate, it has the updated, modern articulation. So, it's not doing anything too special, but it is very solid, and as well as the figure itself, like it holds together very well. It stands well, and yeah, there's really not much I could really complain about. Like, transformation, it's enjoyable, which is why I put it above Bludgeon. Uh, I mean, I guess it's really just like small things. Like, it would have been nice to have like a sword that's like fully solid, not the one that's like kind of a flame or the fan, that's at the back of their head it's like really tight, so it can be tough to pull out. But other than that, like it really doesn't get much better than this, especially for Windblade.
This Windblade figure is actually the reason why I can't talk to 2D about Transformers anymore. Because every time we talk about him, he always sells me on a figure. And first it's Bludgeon, and now it's Windblade. I was
Yeah,
content with my, huh?
Yeah, wait till I get Needle Nose.
It's oh god. I was content with the Furai model. I think that's what, yeah, Furai model, right?
Yeah.
The model
Yeah, I
kit
think
Windblade.
Flame Toys.
Yeah, Flame Toys. My bad. Infamous figure. Yeah, I thought she was cute. I haven't even finished building her, but already, just like the part that I do have of it, it aesthetically clashes with everything I own Transformers related. But I still need a Windblade because Windblade's kind of a very, especially nowadays, like they're integrating her more into like the main cast of the Autobots, which I think is
Oh,
kick-ass.
well, not really. Like she's kind of been out of action for a bit.
Well, I mean, with Cyberverse and IDW for a bit, she was. But yeah, actually, with Earthspark, I don't even think she's in it.
No, no.
Damn. Sorry, Windblade. Screw you.
Yeah, like she was like in the Cyberverse line. That's another thing. Like when they were doing like the deluxe figures for Cyberverse, she wasn't one of them, and she was like one of the main characters of that show.
That is weird, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like I mean, it very much was a warp in it was very much a change in priority because when Cyberverse started, that was kind of the end of Windblade of being pushed. She was like, all over the place, and then just like she was just brushed off to the side. And also, one thing I do want to know before I end this, she is, the articulation is good enough to where she could actually dual wield her sword because she does have like a wrist swivel. So, it does, do sword poses fairly well.
I would love to see you like post like a pic between Bludgeon and Windblade just kicking each other's asses. I think that would be kick-ass.
We'll see.
Careful.
We'll see.
Careful, you're gonna tempt Silver to buy more stuff.
Yeah.
You know, he's already kind of
Yeah,
financially
you can-
irresponsible. I don't know if you should push that.
Hold on. I bet I could convince Silver to buy a Mafex figure.
No.
Yeah, but
You know what?
okay.
I'm not gonna complain about that. I would like to see that.
If you
All
could
right.
pull that off, you could pull anything off.
Number 5. Okay, we're going into the top 5. My number 5, 2023, is the Mythic Legions Figura Obscura Monkey King, Sun Wukong, you know, the monkey. But this figure, while it's not, you know, hand candy like the previous two figures, it's eye candy in the best form possible. The sculpting and detail on the armor, the staff, the Chinese opera sort of styled kind of like faces. One with a, you know, calm face, the other one with like more, you know, kind of yelling face. Beautiful, just beautiful, man. Like I love, you know, sometimes I don't even, you know, need to take it out of my shelf. I just, you know, sit there and just look at it because it's so fucking awesome, you know. It comes with like a buttload of accessories. I do, you know, I do wish that they, you know, Four Horsemen do more Journey to the West figures, but we'll see. I know that there's going to be a retailer exclusive version of this guy. I am so pumped for that one. I don't know when they're going to reveal it, but I know they're going to do it. But yeah, freaking amazing figure. You know, not hand candy, but the best eye candy of 2023. Number 5 with the Elite
Yeah, and
Wukong. Yeah.
also, the audience may not know this, but you know, Journey to the West, you know, it's a story that's pretty meaningful to you.
Yes. Yeah. Journey to the West, you know, like, you know, it's like Star Wars for Western culture. With Journey to the West, Monkey King. Monkey King was like our Superman, you know, well, when I was born, you know, because he's so broken. He fight gods, and he doesn't give a shit, you know.
Yeah,
He
it's a
very, very mischievous monkey.
yeah, and it's a very influential story for like Eastern culture.
Mm-hmm.
And also a little detail you told us a while ago is that like the staff, it has like so the characters, it actually like translates to something.
Yes. So on the staff in the book, so keep in mind this figure is very book accurate. Accurate, sorry. And on the staff, it reads golden compliant golden hoop rod weighing 7 tons. Right. You know, I'm translating in English, but you know, Chinese it sounds cooler. But they actually carved the original sort of like Chinese letter on the staff, which is they didn't have to do it. A lot of like recent Monkey King figures, they didn't even do it. But Four Horsemen, they fucking killed it. It's on one side of the staff. Once you know, if you have this guy, you'll know. But dude, that detail I wasn't expecting them to do it, but they fucking pull it off. They killed it.
Yeah, like, you know, when it comes to detail, I think this Mythic Legion, like, it's gonna be untouched, you know, in terms of yeah.
It's
But
so
all
cool
Mhm.
to look at. I remember when you showed it to us, I was like jaw on the floor. So kick ass.
Very good figure. Yeah. So, you know, if anybody's looking to get it, anybody from Canada, I do recommend eCollectibles. They still have this guy for a good price. Not plugging, but, you know, just recommending. But from, you know, American viewers, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
But, you
best
know,
of
or you
luck.
can just wait for the retailer version. Yeah.
Yeah.
Number 5. From here on out, these 5 figures have been number 1 and number 5. Like, they've been in every position, but I think I finally found an order that makes me happy. Number 5 goes to
Mm-hmm.
the SH Figure Arts Chainsaw Man, or Denji.
Hey, yo.
Dude, this line, I'll get into it more when I talk about the others. Spoiler alert. Well, if you know me, it's not really a spoiler, but dude, I mean, come on. This figure is amazing. It's so I would say it's hand candy, but like his chainsaws are painful as shit to hold.
Yeah.
You dealt with the Figma and like you were dealing with some chainsaw
Yeah,
pain,
like
right?
yeah, the Figma, like, you know, those it's actually a pretty decent figure, but like the chainsaw bits, those are really sharp. So, I know like these import companies, when it comes to the edges, they always do them on hard plastic, pretty much. So, yeah, it can be pretty painful to handle at times.
But man, it is worth it. Like it's beautifully sculpted. It's just a guy in a like, a button up and a tie, but like the head, the chainsaw head itself, it's menacing. It's awesome. Articulates beautifully. But to me, I'll talk about I can't I'm not talking about it yet, but yes, he is the third best of the line. And he is
Yeah.
my number 5 of the
Yeah, and
top.
also
Hmm?
I'm surprised you didn't know, it's very manga accurate.
Ah, yes, that is something I was going to cover with power, but yeah, I'll go into it. So, since
Oh,
you mentioned the Figma,
you
the Figma,
spoiled it.
you're right. Too late, too late. So let's just talk about it real quick. The Figmas go for anime accuracy, and look, anime's cool and all. I love the Chainsaw anime, but for me,
Mhm.
the manga just means so much to me. Volume
Yeah.
1 to 11 is just like, for me, it's my favorite manga, like of all time. Just volume 1 to 11. It's a beautiful story. It's weird, but it's not afraid to be itself. And that's why I prefer like SHF's line so far because they do follow that manga accuracy, and you can definitely see it on a future list, or the next spotted list, and of course Denji
Yeah.
himself.
Okay, number 4, the Marvel Legends Black Widow, or superposable Black Widow. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people have talked about this figure already. I don't really have too much to add. The posability is nice. The accessories are great for a Marvel Legends. And like, wow, I mean, this really like takes, the female legends to a whole other level. Like it's not just the torso, it's the butterfly joint as well. Like the articulation on this is very nice, and like it might be like, I mean, yeah, it's one of the best legends of the year. I mean, wow. I mean, I'm sure like even legends of all time, I'm sure you could rank it pretty high up there. It looks good, poses great, and also, of course, it does have like the face print technology they've been doing lately. And like, I can't really think of much else they could do for this figure. It's a very nice release and really a step in the right direction for like a female legends, which they've been kind of limited for a while. So like a good surprise.
Look at Hasbro raising the standard for female Marvel
Mhm.
Legends this year. You know what, Hasbro? Since you did it with Black Widow, Black Cat when? Black
Yeah,
Cat when?
Mhm.
Give
yeah. Like I
us
think,
superposable Black Cat on
yeah.
this body.
Yeah. I know how much you like Black Cat, but
Oh
yeah, I
man,
think a Black Cat with this sort of engineering style would be sick, man.
it'd be awesome for sure.
Yeah.
My number 4. We're going back to SH Figure Arts, but it's the SH Figure Arts Shinkocho Seiho Ultraman Dyna. So for the audience who don't know what Ultraman Dyna is, I'm sure people would know what Ultraman is. It's just another Ultraman. But this is one of the first Ultraman, at least for me, when I was a kid, I fell in love with. I love the show. It's so goofy, it's not, a lot of the other Ultraman series focused on really dark. Some of, they're goofy ones, but, they're trying to hit that kind of like darker theme, life, when life hits you and, kind of thing. But Ultraman Dyna is not afraid to be goofy and it's not afraid to get serious. And I love the design of this Ultraman. It's so colorful, so vibrant, and the posability. It is hand candy. However, they have been kind of experimenting with like different materials. There's some rubber in it, so if you will go a little too crazy, it will start to get wacky, get weird, and leave creases on it. But I've been just as long as you're careful, it should be fine. But yeah, this figure is definitely another, just like Monkey King, it's another eye candy for me. Just sometimes I don't even need to pose it. I just look at it. It's so good. I know 2D and Silver probably don't know what I'm talking about, but it's okay.
I gotta do my
Okay.
Ultraman homework. You gave me the list, and
Exactly.
I got you, Peter. Soon enough,
You gotta.
I'll be in it. I'll be in it.
You'll watch Ultraman and you'll love it.
Damn right I will. I'm looking forward to doing that. So, number 4, right? Number 4 is it time for number 4?
Number 4.
Oh,
Yep.
oh, Who's it gonna be, guys? Oh no, it's Power! Oh my God, who would have seen that
Yeah,
coming?
from SHF.
Yeah, SHF
Yeah, power.
Power. Holy shit. I'm gonna talk more about just like the manga accuracy. I'm sorry, but the Figma face sculpts are just like it follows so tightly the anime that it's kind of like to a fault. Fujimoto's art style, beautiful. It's so awesome because he's not afraid to like make the faces a little rough, and I think that adds charm to it. And like SHF Power just like encapsulates that art style really well in a figure. She's loaded with accessories, loaded with hands, super expressive, super fun, very posable. The one issue, obviously, that a lot of people have mentioned is she, Power isn't very, she doesn't really care that much. So she has part of her hoodie kind of slumped off of her shoulder, which, like, design wise, as a character, is like, oh, that's silly. As a figure, the engineering kind of got a little weird. But I think SHF, they did their best. And honestly, if you get used to it, you can work with it and you can get good at hiding it and just dealing with the fact that Power's kind of an idiot. And because of that, the figure has some weird engineering. But yeah, SHF Power.
It embodied the character.
And yeah, the figure does indeed embody the character. Also, you get her cat. Like, come on. It's Meowie. And it's loafing. It's also better than the Figma cat because the Figma cat looks like it's dying.
I mean, hey, that might be a plus.
Oh, God.
Yikes.
Number 3, probably a guy who would kill that cat for some milk, is the Figma Homelander. So, okay, so
Oh, no.
Homelander. Okay, I haven't seen this show yet. All I know, Homelander, he likes his milk, he's pretty full of himself, and most importantly, he's just a big asshole. And like this Figma figure like really captures that with its head sculpts. Like, they're fairly expressive. And, it comes with a very nice accessories, a lot of hands and such. Has like a bendy wire cape, which is all right. Kind of what you expect from typical bendy wire cape. So the only thing that's kind of holding this figure back is the articulation is kind of weird in some areas. Like the torso, doesn't really crunch forward that much, but it still has decent articulation. And I know some people don't really care for the colors either, but like, it is accurate to the show, depending on what scene you're looking at. So there are some scenes in which, it looks inaccurate. Some scenes it looks accurate, color wise, but details are still fairly there. And like, oh yeah, and it does have like it does have a texture to it, which is nice. But yeah, it's a pretty solid figure. You could have like some fun, some goofy fun with it, because it's Homelander, and it does have like those silly faces. So yeah, this is very much just a personal thing. It's not like it's not like necessarily like one of the best figures ever, but it is a pretty enjoyable figure, and it's actually closer in quality to the Mafex than one might think at looking at it at first.
Whoa. Those are fighting
Whoa.
words, buddy.
Those are bold statements, my friend.
What can I say about this figure other than it is going down?
Oh yeah,
It's going down.
It's going down, and
You think
and
he's the captain?
He is your captain. Figma Homelander is your captain.
He is the captain. Number 3 goes to the Rebel set. Amazing Yamaguchi, Spider-Man 2.0. Let me just say this right off the bat. It is in another universe as far as improvements. It's night and day when it comes to how much they improved this character. Although it is kind of, he is in a different costume. His Parker Industry costume, which I don't mind. I think the suit design is very cool. Like, this thing again. eye candy and hand candy. The joints, unlike its first release, is so smooth. You expect some clicks in there, but nope. Every single joint, on it, it's very smooth, and I don't. It's just really good. However, I think I got lucky with this guy because the shop that I shop at for the import figures, they have been getting a lot of reports of the thing joint popping apart. So that is something that a lot of people, have. So
Yeah, and you mean at the knee or just anywhere?
mostly at the knee and the just basically the whole pelvic area. So that is an issue, if you're looking to buy this guy. But once you get all past that, this figure is fun, very fun,
Yeah.
very good figure.
Yeah, and
I,
I think the only thing is like, yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people like that figure too. The only issue people have with it is that it's like the Mark IV Spider-Man suit, but like, even then, it's still, I mean, it's a stylized take of that suit, but it's still pretty accurate to that.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I'm sure it would have been on my list if I was able to get it, but I'll definitely try this year. But
Of
man,
course, yeah, it's getting a re-release, so good luck, man.
I mean, that figure does look pretty amazing.
I guess you could say he's the amazing Spider-Man.
Oh, oh.
All right, let's get these heroes out of here. Boo, boring. I want some villains. And you know what? My number 3 goes to the SHF Katana Man or Samurai Sword, or I think they just call him Sideburns Man as like an insult. Dude, this to me is peak SHF. Like Chainsaw Man, SHF in general, just it is so amazing. It's better than Denji because like it has better articulation and aesthetically looks cooler than Power. I loved Samurai Sword in the manga, you know? He has a very, simple-minded mission. He's got to avenge his grandpa, but like come on, family first, right? It's a noble goal. It's just that he's a dick. But dude, this figure, it only has two faces, but they're just so expressive. It's just one yelling and one closed. And you'll see in these pictures, this guy is a kick ass. I love his shoulders. They are a little weird to get used to because it kind of like does a amazing Yamaguchi type stuff where like the bicep has a ball joint, but it just allows for some beautiful poses. Um and yeah, this figure's just fantastic in every way, shape, or form.
Number 2, and the last Marvel legend on my list is the Legends Talos.
No!
Okay.
Are you serious?
Oh man, such an amazing figure. But okay, in all seriousness, it is the SDC slash, Pulse exclusive or whatever Deadpool. This figure, it is on one of the best current Legends body molds. Renew your vows. The figure looks good and comes with a lot of accessories. A lot of extra weapons, extra hands, and and for some people, a whole extra figure. With Bob, which is not a bad figure, but it's a pretty standard Marvel Legends. Although the new parts are nice. Sunfire body mold, but with different limbs. Pinless limbs. So that is appreciated. But Deadpool's the real star of the show here. Like this goes above and beyond what a legend can really do in the normal sphere of like of like retail and such. Like I mean, there really isn't much you could do to make this figure better. Like, maybe some new weapons and new heads, but that's about it. I mean, like a lot of the parts it does use are repainted from other parts, but it does them fairly well, and it gives them a lot of fun options. So, pretty solid set here, but Deadpool, he's the real MVP of this year for Marvel Legends.
Mm-hmm.
Can't even argue with you on that. It's just a good figure.
And
Yeah.
every new Revalis is a really good body mold to use for
Yeah.
Deadpool. Hasbro killed it. Love it.
Yeah, and
Great.
honestly, you could probably argue for it being like the best SDC set from Hasbro that year, 2023.
You're right.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
although I'll have to double check on that to be sure, but yeah, I think it's great set, and I kind of woke up to it because like, I didn't go to San Diego Comic-Con unlike Peter here, but
Mm-hmm.
one morning I just kind of, woke up and it was just like, oh, these sets are going on pre-order. I checked the time. It's like, oh, it's that time. See if it's still up there. So, yeah, I just, ordered it. So I'm glad I did.
There it is. I
Yeah.
mean, when it was at SDCC, it was still kind of a weird exclusive
Yeah.
because,
Yeah,
you
because you
know,
have like the
so,
scan, like the
yeah.
barcode.
But then again, later on, it would have made it available to the public. So, everyone at SDCC were like, "What's the fucking point of this exclusive then?" Because you go there to get
I mean,
something unique and different, and then it's like, "Oh yeah, we're making this," which is great, right? Everybody deserves to own these beautiful figures, but that experience is not very good. A lot of people
yeah.
complained. Number two, let's do this. There's another SHF. It's the SHF Andrew Garfield, aka the Amazing Spider-Man. Oh man, I don't know where to begin, dude. Like, it was good. It's not too bad, but definitely needs improvement. For example, even right as opened it, right as I opened it back then, it still had loose joints, right? And then I can't pose it. It's not fun. But this
Yeah.
guy,
Yeah,
man,
and
he's.
also, I just want to say this because this might be the only chance to say it here, but
Mm-hmm.
I've said this before, but like that Mafex Amazing Spider-Man 2, like he looks like an alien, bro.
Yeah,
For
he
real.
looks a bit weird. We're taking a shit on my effects on this podcast. It's the only
Yeah,
place you'll hear it.
yeah. I mean, I don't know about that, but all right, Peter.
Yeah, it's supposed again. I think once as we get to number one, I think figures are starting to be both hand candy and eye candy. And honestly, sometimes I just look at it. I'm like, this is perfect. The only I guess my only complaint is it doesn't come with fist hands, and also it does not come with Daddy Drew's head. There are third party
But
sellers that. Yeah, go
yeah.
for it. Sorry.
Although that Andrew Garfield thing, that was like somewhat out of SHF's control. Like,
Yeah,
it's not proved or whatever. So
it's not their fault entirely, but you know, um, but still, very solid figure, and SHF killed it. Right
Your
on,
other
buddy.
company killed it, and we've mentioned it before. NECA. And my
oh
number
yeah.
two
Oh yeah,
spot goes to the NECA Prey Feral Predator.
let's
Holy
go.
shit. You want to talk about eye candy and hand candy? This is it. This figure. Well, first of all, like its design, I'm very biased. A lot of people, a lot of Predator fans hated this thing's design. It's ugly. It looks weird. Dog, this is the Predator. He's not gonna look he's not gonna look pretty. And I think the Feral Predator embraces that look and it elevates it. And to have a figure based off of one of the best Predator designs in my opinion, and not just based on the best design, but also like one of NECA's best predators in general. It's incredible. I'm almost in disbelief that I even own this thing because it's so good. The articulation's phenomenal. The neck is so smooth to deal with and super expressive, coming with three alternative jaw pieces that just give this figure so much personality. It's got magnets embedded in it so you can put the backpack on. Like what the hell? It's sick. This genuinely grabs the best aspects of every NECA Predator beforehand, and it's worthy of the name Ultimate Predator, without a doubt.
Well, I mean, from what you're describing, it sounds more like a perfect predator.
I mean, pretty
It is the
much.
perfect predator.
And then like all the accessories are there, like everything you could want from the movie is there. But yeah, this guy super close to being number one. This guy in the number one spot fought viciously. But yeah, this guy, spectacular. NECA killed it this year with Peter's pick of The Last Ronin, Chucky, and then this Feral Predator. If NECA stays on this, trend of just creating kick-ass action figures that look good and play good, dude, NECA's in it for the long term if they pull that off.
Future's looking good for NECA.
For sure.
Okay, my number one pick this of 2023 is the HasLab Deadsaurus. I'm
Hell
sure.
yeah.
I mean, I'm sure it's mostly like Transformers fans who have talked about this already, but like, it's an amazing figure. Like, it looks great. It has a lot of playability. With the various accessories. Like, if you have the Star Saber already, it's a great companion piece to that. There's really not much better you can do for this, especially for like Hasbro's Transformers line, Legacy line. But like this is just it's an amazing piece. Like the playability, with the Micromasters, the Breast Force. I mean, Deadsaurus itself, it's a chunky big robot, and it turns into like the space chickens. So, just like a fun figure to play with. And yeah, my number one this year. I mean, doesn't get much better than this.
Can it? Does it get better? I don't
Well,
know.
we'll see about your number one pick, Peter.
Oh, alrighty. My number one pick goes to, once again, SHF. Just killed it for me this year. It is the SHF Tobey Maguire. Let's give a round of applause for Toby, yeah.
The return
Let's go.
of the king.
The Return of the King, dude. This figure is, nothing is perfect, right? But if perfect exists, I'd say it's this one. Yeah, I'd say, I think for me, Toby made such a huge impact in my life because it's one of the first superhero movies that I watched when I immigrated to Canada. And Spider-Man 2, again, one of the best superhero movies ever, is one of the first movies that I watched when I came to Canada. And I love the suit. Toby's suit forever will be ingrained in my mind as one of the most, like, I guess, definitive Spider-Man designs. No Stark tech, no fucking, other stuff to make it fancy. It's just, it's made by Toby's own hands. Well, not really, but
Peter, he has the silver webbing.
Mm-hmm. So the silver webbing. See, that sets it apart. Other Spider-Man black webbing, dude. That's not popping, dude. The silver webbing makes it stand out.
Yeah, especially on film.
Yeah. Also, I just, I love how clean this figure is. The spider logo, both on the front and back, is super clean. I actually bought 2 copies of this figure. Both are very clean. There's no mishaps. And also the eyes. The eyes are also really cleanly painted as well. Everything about this figure screams eye candy and hand candy. I love this thing so much. It came with all the necessary accessories. Came with all the pointy hands, everything. This figure is, to me, the best thing that ever happened in 2023.
Coming from someone who also owns it, it's a kick-ass Spider-Man.
It is a kick-ass Spider-Man.
So cool. I wish mine didn't have the QC issue with the shoulders. If it didn't, it would have definitely been on the list for sure. But because of that,
Yeah,
I
sure, yeah.
Oh yeah, you forgot to. You should have explained that little rule. Might as well.
You're right. So yeah, if I have to mod a figure, it immediately cannot make top 10. Like if I have to fix something, put some either tighten a joint or loosen a joint, like it can't happen. Which gives more credit to that NECA Predator because NECA figures do need a lot of modding, So for once, NECA finally doesn't need to be modded to be good. Whoa.
Yeah.
But I mean, like Peter,
Mm-hmm.
the best part about this, Toby, we both know it, is that
That smiling head.
Oh.
I was thinking about that smiling head, but I was thinking about the head, but I guess the head pair with the the butt pose. That'd be That's perfect.
That is peak like figure, like just peak action figure.
That that ass is popping. Out of the, I don't know about the final swing suit yet, but you know what? Compared to Andrew and the final battle, Tom Holland, that ass is popping. That ass is indeed popping, man.
You know what else is about to pop? My
Number
pick
one.
for number one is the Mafex Webman. No, it's
Yo, let's go!
it
Moffitt
is.
fans rejoice.
I'm surprised you didn't mention that in honorable mentions.
Here's the thing. You're right. I should have. Yeah, Mafex Webman. I picked up this year, but didn't come out this year, so he's disqualified. Boo. Sorry, should have mentioned that earlier. But my real number one is. Yeah, it's Haslab Death Stars. It's Haslab Death Stars. Like it is. It reminds me of why I collect Transformers. Growing up, I was always a huge Decepticon fan. Like you can you can tell it from like just me in general. I love the Decepticons, and Deathsaurus just embodies like everything badass about the '80s Decepticons. Big,
For
chunky,
sure.
square. Just like like just kick ass designs. His little like mini cons that he spits out. It's great. The throne is badass. I mean, like this thing's just beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah, and with the throne, you could like store like a lot of the accessories in the back there.
I think almost all of them are. Probably like bar a few. You can store
Yeah,
most of them.
yeah, like you can't really you could only store one of the breast masters on top.
Oh yeah, you can
And
have them like perched above him.
yeah,
That's
and
cute.
like the blast effects, you can't put them there. Like you have to put the blast effects somewhere else. But yeah,
Unfortunately, and
but yeah,
also like ignoring like just on how perfect that Deathsaurus is. Those Micromasters are like some of the best Micromasters I've handled. Like
yeah, I think they're like brand new molds actually.
it shows because they're just like they're fun to handle. They feel like jazz. Like
Mm.
I didn't really like Micromasters when they first came out because they felt really cheap to me. But I
Yeah.
mean, these HasLab ones, I mean, they do have HasLab money, so they better be good. But yeah,
Oh,
they are
well, I
so
don't
fun
think
to
they
play with.
really. Well, they didn't really put that money in Star Sabers. Star
And honestly,
Sabers might
you
have matched.
Whoops.
just mentioned Star Saber, and I'm sorry, but Deathsaurus destroys Star Saber. 100%. Like I am so much. I have like infinitely like more fun with Deathsaurus over Star Saber. I loved Star Saber. He was my figure of the year last year, but Deathsaurus beats him by a long shot. It's just so fun, so kick-ass, so evil. Those gold parts, like they go a long way. This is just like
Yeah, yeah, and the back metal, or like the chrome gold, like yeah, they actually like learned their lesson with
oh
Death Sword.
god.
Like they packaged them much better, so they
Yeah.
don't get scratched.
No, but yeah, this is the Decepticon. Like I'm sorry, Megatron. Step aside. Deathsaurus takes charge.
Yeah,
Number
especially
one.
How
if you're
could you?
one.
Our
Yeah.
boys.
Cool. But anyway, there's only one figure that could have been better than Death Source. The HasLab is the Mafex Death Source.
Oh yeah. Mafex dropping Deathsaurus in 4 months. Make sure to pick it up, pre-order it at
Mm-hmm.
chilliverse.com.
Yeah. Yeah,
But yeah.
Over.
not a real website.
No, yeah, not a real website.
You
Not a
know
real
what?
website.
We're working on it. We're working on it. It'll happen.
No.
Wait till we get the likes and shit.
Yeah, but okay, I think yeah,
Guys.
that's all we have today.
Yeah.
There was our top 10s for the best figures of 2023.
Here's to an awesome 2024, guys. I'm looking forward to recording more podcasts with you this year.
Yeah.
Let's keep kicking
Mhm.
ass and make sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all the funny YouTube thingies. And
Yep.
we'll do all the funny YouTube thingies our own end, and we'll keep trying to get you some podcasts soon. All right. Any closing thoughts,
All right.
Peter, Tootie?
Have a good year, everybody. 2024.
Yeah.
Looking forward to a lot more releases.
All right. Peace out.